it's a film I made out of the film Holland. I made out of anger, really, with myself, and I was quite unhappy with my way of living, and at some point I decided this is enough. And first I thought I was gonna write a book about it, about that period of my life, but well, I'm not a writer, so I thought make a film. And yeah, we had some basic storyline in it first, but as it turned out in the editing, it wasn't necessary. It was meant to be just an atmospheric piece about a mood, a state of mind. And I think, well, I succeeded in that. And I don't know if it's a good film, but I'm happy with it, and I had to throw it out, you know, like my anger and my. And then after that, I made Prey, and I was so confident after making the film Holland that I thought, okay, let's do another one, and well, I can do this. But in the end, I think I didn't really decide on anything. I didn't really think about how to approach the film. So the film is a strange mixture of a lot of atmosphere and well, kind of a very thin storyline, like a bad romance. And everyone on the film worked very hard, and I'm really happy with what they did. But I think me as a director and as a writer, I wasn't focused enough, and I didn't make a sharp decision about telling a story or doing an atmospheric piece. So the film is kind of both. And that's why I decided to do a remake of it, which I'm working on now, and I'm gonna focus exclusively on just the story and no atmospheric images. And so I consider this film like a sketch. I mean, like a painter makes a sketch for a painting first, and which is to say, I am happy with that I made the film, and I'm really happy about the energy and the work that everyone put into it. So no one is to blame but me. But anyway. And then I made Bebop, which is I think more close to Holland in terms of the style and the narrative, or actually non-narrative. And I was so angry at myself for screwing up the film Brooidieren that I just had to go out in the woods and make something. So I thought, oh, well, screw the story, I don't need to tell anything, I don't have a main character, I don't want any dialogue, just I want to go out and film, and I'll see in the editing what happens, and if there is a story in it, and if it's not, well, it will just be like a video installation. And well, that's what we did. We filmed for 3 weeks, and then it took me about 1.5 years to put the film together, and I had a really an incredible amount of versions, and I couldn't decide on what it was. I mean, I had this 1.5 hour of images in the woods and in the city, and I thought there's something there. There is like a minimal story element, but I couldn't find it. And then I edited for a year, and then after a year, a friend of mine said, "Why don't you shove some things around? Put this there and this there and this there." And there were really simple ideas, but I was so deep in it I couldn't see it anymore. And then he said, "Well, if you switch this and this and this around," and I did, and then it really put me on the track. And I edited like the way he advised me to, and then there came like a minimal story. It was becoming visible, and then we decided to film for 2 or 3 more days to make some extra shots to get the story a bit more clear. And like in the end, where the main character is like starting to meditate, this is what we shot actually 1.5 years after we shot the whole film. And because it was the story that came out of it was going from busy, harsh city life to like a zen state of mind in nature, and it's kind of kitschy if you if I have to say what was the film about. Yeah, well, it's about finding peace within yourself. I mean, that's not an interesting story, I think. but it's really about the images and the colors and the moods and the shifts in rhythm, and that's why the film is called Bebop, because I'm really interested in the music style of bebop, which is a style of free jazz, and I can't listen to it. I think it's horrible. I can listen to it for 3 minutes and then But I think the concept is really interesting in that you have several themes that are locked in a way, and in between that the musicians, they can improvise and they can connect with each other and get into a flow and be faster or slower or have really harsh dissonance. And I thought it was very interesting to see if that could be made into a film, because I didn't know any film that had such an amount of improvisation and such an amount of not going anywhere, just drifting and having several moods and rhythms. So and since the film for me doesn't really have a narrative, I thought then the title has to suit the style and not the narrative. So that's why I chose the title Bebop, because the film is not about the story but about the style. And I am happy with it, and I don't know if it's any good. It's not up to me to say if it's a good film or not. But it's a film I'm happy with, and I had to do it, I had to get it out, and I did. So